The nice thing about living in Phoenix is that almost any time of the year you can go on a beautiful bicycle trail ride. This is my attempt to show you what it's like to go through some of the nicer trails in the Northwest Phoenix area. This was shot in November of last year, 2009, and you can see the kind of morning we had. Some clouds, sun just coming up. Really a nice day for a bike ride. Here we are starting off down the street from my house. What you saw in the first shot was my Steed, which is an Iron Horse 1.5 mountain bike. And here we go, turning the first corner and headed down the road on our way. It's going to be about 15 miles. I'm compressing about an hour and a half journey into 10 minutes on this video, just to give you some flavor of the kind of trails and amenities there are for bicyclists in the Phoenix area. There's another view of the morning sky. Really a nice day for a bike ride. This is one of the first things I come across, and that's the golf course just down the street from where I live. And this is the heavy traffic part of the thing. It was Union Hills Boulevard. And now we're on another fairly major arterial, 91st Avenue, headed south. The sidewalk, as you can see, is back a ways from the road, so it's pretty safe. And we've got a lot of plantings along the way. It's actually pretty well maintained and designed to be available for pedestrians and bicyclists. This is part of a bike trail that was put in by a developer in the subdivision on the way to just the unique bike trails that are maintained by the city of Peoria that we'll be on in a minute. And this is a nice safe way to ride, nice scenery, well maintained. On the left are the houses, and on the right is a drainage canal used for runoff water that you'll get to see more of in just a minute. And now we're on the City of Peoria bike trail. There's another drainage canal. They build the bike trails along these canals. We have these canals, plus we have natural, what we call dry riverbeds that are dry most of the year. Occasionally they get filled with water when we have our rains during the summer. But it makes a wonderful place to put a bike trail, and it's great biking just for people walking their dogs, people out with their kids, and people on bicycles. The dry wash is off to the left, and there's some houses and subdivisions on the right, but there's plenty of room to ride your bike. And those are light stanchions for the place we're headed, which is the Rio Vista Park in Peoria, and those are light stanchions for the soccer fields and the baseball fields. And up ahead you see the bridge we're going to be crossing. They built a bridge across this dry wash about 2 years ago, made a big difference in accessibility. That's a chalk marker on the trail for a foot race that was held earlier this morning. And here we are on the bridge going up over the dry wash. You're going to see it the way it appeared on this morning, and then I'm going to show you a shot of what actually it looks like when we've had a couple days of rain. It's very wide, and as you can see, not much water in it, and you wonder, well, why is it so wide? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. And here I'm panning around to show you more of Rio Vista Park. That's what it looks like in the dry wash, not so dry, after a couple days of rain. We get a lot of runoff coming down from the mountains, but as you can see, the water runs all the way across from one side to another, and you really need the bridge to get to the park. Quite a bit of rain, quite a bit of runoff. It continues for 2 or 3 days after the rain stops, just because the water's coming down from the mountains to the north. Here we are in Rio Vista Park, coming up on
nice dogs.
Gal walking her dogs, and it's a beautiful park. There are all kinds of facilities here. There's kids' play areas, as I mentioned, soccer fields and baseball fields. And this is a big ramada that you can reserve for parties and different kinds of functions, and with built-in charcoal grills and a place for picnic tables, and you can actually have quite a few people in your party. And this is one of the artificial lakes they have there. These lakes are there. Actually, we have visitors especially during the winter, that you'll hear in just a minute. There are feathered friends, ducks, and there's also fishing that's done. I think it's catch and release, but anyway, fishing opportunities are there in the lake as well, and it's stocked by the City of Peoria. Really a nice place. Used to be my destination until they built an extension I'm going to show you in just a minute. This is the Nemesis. This was Highway 101, and it was just, you couldn't get over it, you couldn't get under it, and they built this underpass, and it just opened in November of 2009, and it's a great way to extend. You can really take a very extended 35 or 40 mile bike ride now with this new underpass under Highway 101. That's what we're going under now. And this hooks up to what's called the Linear Park, and it's a series of bike trails that run along the upper edges of much bigger wash that I'll show you in a minute that runs all the way on a diagonal down through from Peoria through Glendale into Phoenix and actually even down to Tempe. And this is part of that trail. You can see the light stanchions in the distance. That's the Peoria Sports Center, which is for spring training. Here comes the bicyclist along. Usually it's not too heavily traveled. Sometimes it is. It's usually not much trouble at all to have a nice bike ride. This is one of the scenes along the way. It's a horse farm. Actually, I think the guy boards horses here. There's a exercise arena and a paddock and a lot of places for horses to stay. One of the sites along the way on the bike trail. Now this is a telescope view. I've got the zoom lens way out. There are some bicyclists on the other side just going up another part of the branch of the trail. Now I'm going to pull back here and show you. This is the really, really wide dry wash that, unless it's raining, is always looks like this. And this is the basis of the linear park. And the trails run, as you can see, the trail runs down here and across through the center and back up the other side. That's about as far as we are going to go today. So we're now headed back, and again we've got we're on the lip of the dry wash, headed in back the way we came. And we're there we go. We got a few visitors this morning, a little bit of company. And here we go. We're going back down under the brand new underpass, coming back under Highway 101. Along the right you see a little bit of fall color. That's about as colorful as we get in Phoenix. And I always say you can tell the changing of the seasons by the license plate color changing, and that's the way we mark the changing of the seasons in Phoenix. But this is a 60-degree day in the 60s. Very nice. Going to be very nice all day for taking bicycle rides, and if I had the time, you know, I could go on down another 20 or 30 miles. I kind of have to build up to that myself because I don't quite have the stamina to do it at this point. Now we're on that bridge across the dry wash coming down the far side. I'm going to try and keep the camera running around the turn here, and I'm steering with one hand, got the camera in the other. Oh, we made it. Okay. So now we're headed back up. This is actually north, and again you've got the dry wash on your left, and now we're on a new section of the trail. This is kind of a branch off, and it's continuing up alongside the dry wash. This is a nice wide piece of pavement with a buffer area and then a subdivision on one side, and swinging around you're going to see the dry wash on the other. And this is the way it looks most of the year. And as I mentioned before, the nice thing about living in Phoenix is you can do this kind of a trip almost any time during the year. The time of day that you do it varies depending on the season, but the weather's going to be amenable to bicycling almost any day that you want to. This is an underpass under a major arterial called Bell Road, and again they've paved it and made it nice and safe, and you can just keep bicycling on and on without much of an interruption at all. And hopefully me holding the camera and riding the bike is going to give you some idea about the kind of sights and sounds that you see when you're riding a bicycle on some of these trails. There's literally hundreds of miles of these trails. Now coming up is where the trail itself turns to gravel, and the reason I bought a mountain bike instead of a road bike, so I can actually access these things and do a little bit of exploring when the trail's like this. And these are maintained, and they're usually pretty flat and rut free. It's just that it's not a paved surface. Gets a little rougher along here. Sorry about the jiggling. Now we're back up to Union Hills, which is kind of where we started. I'm waiting for the light to change so I can head on home. Home is about a mile and a half to the left. I'm looking down toward the left now. You can see that that's where we're going to be going. And this is back to that artificial lake along the way and a subdivision right next door to where I live, so we're almost home. My name is Richard Hayworth, and I'm a realtor in the Phoenix area, and if you'd like more information about what's available here, houses, anything like that, you can send me an email, give me a call, or visit my website, and I'll be happy to give you some information about living in the Phoenix area. Thank you very much for watching.